Alright, so here's my 2000 rav4. Um, I got a new battery in it, and it's got new headlights in it. That's how I bought it, with a new battery and headlights. It's a rust-free car, really clean car. I just need to vacuum it out, but I gotta do the timing belt. So, yeah. I ordered a mass airflow sensor for it, but apparently these are a different system than mass airflow sensors. I can't remember what it's called, but I cleaned up this tube right here and stuff because it's all cracked. I just put electrical tape over it and stuff. Got it sealed right up. Check engine light went away, so I'm gonna do the timing belt on this, and I might have to do the power steering rack because it leaks. So it just has a slow leak to it, so that might be something I'm doing, or I just might sell it as is. But overall, it goes really good. It's got a rattle somewhere on both sides. I don't. Apparently, the struts were done, but I don't. That's all I could really think of. But I guess I'll have to take a look at that after I get the timing belt done. Alright, so I made a little bit of progress on it so far. I got every bolt but one. We'll have to take the motor mount off. I got the car jacked off, the wheel off. I got a jack holding up the motor so that way it doesn't drop down. Oh, my pants are just covered in dirt because I just had to go change some tires. Yeah, I got the belt off. Got the alternator off. Just sitting to one side so it's out of my way. I just got everything disconnected, so that's all out of my way. Yeah. Please, Rockstar, please sponsor me. These things are so good. But anyways, yeah, I got the power steering taken off. I have it just sitting here so that way I don't get fluid everywhere. Yeah, I got the battery disconnected. I have the battery sitting right there. Yeah, I'm gonna put brand new winter tires on this nice studded one, so that way when I sell this thing, so far I got like $300 into the whole thing. It's a rust-free car. It's got got a lot of dings in it. This is the good side. This side is just all beat up along the whole thing. Just this really just dented. More dents here. This whole door is just all dented up. This dent is fresh. I don't know how this got here, but that one's been there. The whole roof is peeling with the clear coat. So I'm gonna sand down the roof, put some more clear coat on it. Just spray can clear coat, nothing expensive. Just so I'm not putting a whole crap ton of money into this thing. Yeah, I ordered a mass airflow sensor and all that for it. I got the timing belt, mass airflow sensor, but apparently this does not take a mass airflow sensor, even though the code popped up with a mass airflow sensor. It was actually, I got the check engine light turn off because this tube right here was all frayed, so I just wrapped some electrical tape around it, as you can see. But yeah, the radiator has a small crack right here, so it leaks very slowly. You might be able to see that. But so I'm thinking I'm gonna probably just put some JV weld on it, sand it down, and make it look good, just so nobody can tell. Yeah, the headlights are good, so I don't have to worry about those. It's got a nice interior. It's not the cleanest, but it can be cleaned up really easily. And it smells like a wet dog, I'm not gonna lie. It's got floor mats and everything in it. It's actually not that bad. The only thing I'm missing is the back headrest right here. I got one winter tire on it back here, is how I got the car. But I got the matching tire in the back here for the full set. I got this tire here, which is not on the bead, as you can see, for the spare. So I'm gonna put this one as a spare, since this is a nice studded winter tire. It's not that worn either. I bought this car for $100 off one of my buddies, and Yeah, this is kind of how those things are good. But anyways, thinking I'm gonna clean up the engine bay, make it look a little bit cleaner, because my buddy I bought it off, he really does. He vacuums out his interior, keeps them clean. They just don't always smell the best because he has dogs and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just kind of. This car came from Mass, so you look up under it, you're gonna see no rust at all. It's just a clean car. It's got brand new brakes. Well, did have brand new brakes. Been sitting for a little while. It was sitting for like 2 years. I bought off my buddy for $100. Still ran everything. He had put a brand new battery in it, brand new headlights. So, he did a couple other things. So, I do need to replace the battery terminal because it's starting to like twist and stuff, and it doesn't really. I literally can take these off, put it right on the battery, and these are already torqued down as much as they can go. So I need to put some different battery terminals on it. I'm in the process of doing the timing belt, like I was saying. This is the next day from the previous clip, but I'm probably carrying on too much. But I've checked the air filter, I cleaned it, it looks good. But yeah. Alright, I got that bolt off right there, but now I had to go grab my deep set of sockets. But this motor mount, wiggle on it all you want, ain't going nowhere, so I'm pretty sure I might have to get it from underneath. That's why I took off the tire. So there's probably a bolt that comes in from underneath or something, I'm guessing. I don't really know, so I'm gonna give it a little bit of a love tap and see if it'll come out. So, see what happens. Alright, I got this motor mount off, so now I gotta get the belt off the power steering pump, which my power steering pump, as I was telling you guys, has a very slow leak, not the power steering pump with the rack. And I gotta get this belt off. I got the other belt off, it's sitting right there. I got the skid plate off. Wasn't that hard, it's like a matter of like 6 bolts. Take that off. I gotta take this harmonic balancer off. But first I have to get that belt off, and then I'm pretty much golden. Oh, and just a tip for anybody who's going to take off a motor mount, put a jack under the motor so it doesn't fall, and just make sure to keep it level where it is. And there was a bolt right here that you have to get from underneath. Where did I set the motor mount? Right here. So it's just a bolt on that stud right there. You have to take off your tire, take off that skid plate, and you can just basically just get on it from right here. You can see up in there, but yeah, right there. You just have to have a couple extensions and a deep socket to get to it. It's a 14 millimeter for all the bolts on the motor mount. Every bolt I've touched on this car is either a 14 or 10 millimeter so far. That's all I've needed to take. Oh, and a 12. But anyways, it's a really easy car to work on. Just a little bit tight in some places. I like the way they have it set up. It's just an easy car overall to work on. Yeah. It's just very basic for all the tools I've had to need. To get the bolt off the bottom, you gotta really use some pressure getting it off with a, just your regular size, ratchet. But I had to use a little bit of a bigger ratchet just so I can get the one off the bottom off. but this is the ratchet I've used for every bolt except one. So just a little bit of extra leverage is all I needed. It's very basic, all the tools you need. You don't need very much tools to work on a RAV. So this car is almost 20 years old. Well, probably is 20 years old by this point because it's almost 2020. See, because today is like I want to say like the 26th, 27th. It's a Sunday. Last Sunday of 2019. So hopefully I'll get this together for 2020. I got like 6 days. Or whatever it is. 5-6 days. But should be together by the end of today. Probably late tonight because I don't work very fast. I just work at my own pace. It's just a weekend kind of thing I do. So it doesn't need very much work for $100 car. It ain't bad. But I'm figuring I'll put brand new tires on it. I'm just going through the whole car, making sure it's gonna be a nice car for somebody. I'm gonna put new tires, like I was saying, nice winters on it, nice studded. I'm just gonna make sure it's a nice car, make sure it's ready to go. I'm not fooling around, half-assing anything. I'm just gonna go through, buy new parts for it if I need to. I'm estimating I have like $300 into it right now. Tires, if I go for a full set, brand new studded, it'll be like $400 or so. So I'll have like $700 into the thing, and then I'll sell it for. I'm gonna list it for like $1,600, $1,1600, somewhere around there, and then I'll probably go as low as like $1,200 or something. So I'll make $500-$600 off it, which, depending on how good people are negotiating. But should make a good car for somebody. But yeah. Well, about 2.5 hours later, finally got to this. Well, this is supposed to be tight. Yeah, there's no doubt about that was a little worn. I'm just awed how this thing was not skipping time. But that's your typical Toyota for you. Those things will never blow up on you. No matter what, these things are just as reliable as can be. Bitch to work on, though. I am just awed right now by how this thing was still running, and how this thing did not skip time with it being that loose. Trust me, the thing was slapping back and forth, and you could hear it when it was running. Definitely needed to be replaced. Man, I opened this thing up like around 1 o'clock, and it's 6 right now. Still drinking out of the same thing. Ugh. But I just got to get the harmonic balancer off. Then I got to take this cover off, get everything to top dead center. You know what? I'm going to get to top dead center now, just so I know where. I'm going to check how to time this so everything's in time. And then it should be pretty good. Alright, it's the next morning. Just barely put some pellets in the stove. So, should be all good to work on this today. So this is the 3rd day in a row working on this thing. It kind of got late last night and I just didn't bother picking up tools, so I was getting tired, so I just went in, got some dinner, but Back at it again. Yeah, I put it to top dead center last night, and I got, holy crap, this thing just, that is super. Look at this. Like, I can literally make it touch the tensioner over there. That is. There's a reason it's making noises. And the tensioner's all the way at the end of its adjustment. Wow. If you have a pneumatic air gun, always remember, use a little 3-in-1 or something and lubricate it, okay? You only need a little bit at a time, but just remember to always oil them. Alright, I finally got this cover off because I was finally able to get the harmonic balancer off. I was having trouble getting it off at first. I didn't want to go very tough on it, but apparently these bolts are known for being hard to get off on the end of the crankshaft. So I turned it up to 120 psi. Well, really this thing only likes to go to 100 because I got the pressure regulator on it, so it's all it wanted to go up to. So at 100 psi, this thing, finally I was able to get that crankshaft bolt out. This thing, and it's just a regular right hand thread. It's not a left hand. So if anybody was wondering, I was wondering that too at first. So I just went with what I thought it might be, which it just was a regular there. Take that off. I don't want to forget that. So looky there. See if I can get that under the light so you guys can see that. Right there. It says Toyota. That's a factory timing belt with 147,000 miles on it. Yeah, look at this. Look at all the fraying it was starting to do. Alright, so if anybody was wondering on time, Rav, you got your bottom cover right here. So you have your harmonic balancer that sits in front of this, and there's a mark right there. That little part that's been taken out of it. That's basically there. Then you got this 0 mark with that line. You line that up with it. Alright. Let's get the stove fired up. Alright. That feels a little bit better. It's a little bit smoky because I just barely started it, but yeah, it's going now. Now we're cooking. We got some heat coming off her now. I think a oil change is next up on the list. Right. I just barely spent the last like 5 minutes just working this thing. I put a little 3-in-1 in between where this thing sits on the thing. So basically I just squirted 3-in-1 in between that plate and this and started working it because it was awful stiff. Basically it's just on a pin over here. So basically if you're wondering how to pull these off so you can pack them back with grease, you take the bolt out the center right here. Okay, you undo the spring that is attached from this pin to here, and if you work it off, it'll come right off. You don't need to pry on it, you just work it a little bit back and forth because it just moves on this pivot. Just work it, come right off. Alright, this is just so I can see if it's in time. Can you guys see if that's in time? You're supposed to be able to look through that hole. I'm gonna look around, see if there's any other markings. Now, whatever you do, do not forget to put this washer on. Alright, I got most of it back together. I just gotta put the power steering pump. Hook that back up, and because I got the power steering pump on, and I got the belt to put on it, and then tension it. Then put the last bolt and the motor mount from up underneath, and put the tire back on, and I'll be done. Other than right now, I'm gonna take everything off it. I just don't got the power steering pump hooked up. That's all. So I'm just gonna fire it up and see what happens. Alright, here's the very nerve-wracking part. I got everything back together. I just don't have this mud cover, inner fender, whatever you want to call it on. I got everything together. Here's the real nerve-wracking part. Starting it after doing something big like this. It's just, you don't know how things are gonna go. Oh, yeah. That's the thing right there. You just don't know how things are gonna go. That sounds so good. This belt is definitely squeaking. This is perfect. Wow, this thing is running really quiet. This thing is, it's sucking down the power steering fluid I put in it. Perfect. I'm gonna have to put a little bit more in it. Don't want to die from the fumes. Open up the door. I got a little bit left. I used up what was left in that jug. Oh yeah, it's definitely burning off some crap from all the oils that got on the engine. Smell that burn off. I don't even think that was power steering fluid. That was something clear. Whoops. Whatever. It's a liquid. Wow. This thing is so quiet. Give her a little bit of gas. See if she. Wow, that is super responsive now. I think I might have the power steering pump belt a little bit on the tight side, but yeah, I got no lights on the dash. Other than I got my door open and my seatbelt off right now. So that thing is quiet. Wow. Oh yeah, the belt is definitely starting to quiet down now. That sounds good. Yeah, sorry for the bad camera quality for this video, but it's my phone. That's what I got. I got the car all back together now. So yeah, this camera, when you go to use it for pictures for some reason, it's perfectly fine. As soon as you go take a video, it zooms it way in. So I kind of hate that. But man, I really need to give this car a good clean, and it's all filthy. I think I'm going to vacuum this thing out tonight before I pull it out. So it should be pretty much good to go.